What if I told you that there were only two bad things that could happen to crypto for the rest of the year and then we're good to go for the rest of the year? Would that help you? This video is going to tell you that. I literally think that there are only two things that we have to get through in the next, 20 days. Otherwise, we're going straight up. Like this is literally until April, my prediction is we are going to $30,000 Bitcoin sometime before April, okay? That is my prediction for Bitcoin. And then my prediction for Ethereum is very simple. Look at how small that looks on the chart. That is not a big deal. This would be a 2x from these prices. And for Ethereum, we will go from $1,250 up to $2,500 in my opinion by April. And I'm going to show you why in this video, but it's a very easy 2x. So if you would like to double your money in the next, 4 months. If you would like to double your money in 4 months very easily and very safely with the two best cryptos in crypto, then watch the rest of this video. And do me a favor and smash the like button on this video for me, guys. Share this with someone who you think it would help, who needs to make more money, because we all need more money in this moment, right? And I think this is the easiest 2x that I've personally ever seen. I really do think we can get 2x in 4 months without a lot of risk. So that's awesome. And also, guys, go check out the link in my Twitter bio. I have this new thing called the Orange Pill. If you want to make money in the next 4 months, I think you should probably start here. So there's a link in my Twitter bio. It's also linked below every one of the videos. Go check that out. All right, let me just explain. This video is going to be very, very quick. Why do I think we're going to get a 2x in 4 months on both Ethereum and on Bitcoin? Basically, guys, because there's no more bad events left. There's no more bad events scheduled. So today we had the CPI data come out, the PCE data, excuse me. The core PCE data was under expectations, which means that inflation came down. We also had Powell on stage a couple days ago who was hinting that the jobs report tomorrow is going to be atrocious. So I think that the jobs report tomorrow will be bad. And remember, guys, in this environment, bad news is good news, okay? So we have inflation down, which is good news. Inflation down, and that is good. We also have jobs down, unemployment up, and both of those are good, okay? So that's what's coming in the next couple days. One of them dropped today. I think we're good there. The next thing that's coming right here is that CPI is mathematically guaranteed to nuke January through March. So if you don't know this, you haven't been subscribed to the channel, this is why you need to stay subscribed. But I pulled up the video for you right here. It's called "This is More Important Than FTX and Luna Combined." Go watch this video if you want to know what I'm talking about. But basically, I said that it's mathematically impossible for the inflation data not to drop in January through March. Everyone knows this. Powell knows it. That's why he's being a lot less hawkish in his talks. Everyone knows this who's smart, but the dumb people are like, oh, inflation is not topped out. Inflation is topped out 100%. There's no doubt about it. And the reason for that is simple math. If you go watch this video, I explain in more detail, but basically you see how these prints, this is earlier this year, January, February, and March. And we printed 0.8%, 0.7%, and 1.3% in those months. Now, what I'm telling you is that the past few months we have been averaging 0.2%. So let me just show you. Let me just write it out. Okay. So the average increase month over month. So like last month, it was this amount and now it's this amount. You get it? Okay. So the average increase right now is 0.2%. Okay. And this is what it is now. Okay. And in the past, what happens is you compare this month to the month from a year ago. So let's say it is November 22. Okay. So what do you do to get the data for the next month? You compare it to November 21. Okay, you got that? So let's say November 22, the amount went up by 0.2, which I think it did actually. I think it went up by 0.2. Okay, and November 21, it went up by 0.8. Okay, what happened? I think this is exactly what it was, by the way. What happens to the overall number? It goes down by 0.6. Do you see that? It's simple math, okay? So CPI down. This is how it works. Okay, so let's back up. What do we have coming down the pipeline? Well, in December, it only went up by 0.2. So December, we're gonna get to, that's what I was saying. We only have two bad events coming up. We'll come back to December in a second, okay? But in January, we have 0.8. In February, we have 0.7. In March, we have 1.3. Whew! Those are huge numbers. Okay, so 0.8, 0.7, 1.3. Let me just map this out, okay? So we have January 23 compared to January 22. Got it? Remember, the average right now, month over month, is like 0.2%. Okay, so January 23 will probably come in around 0.2. But in January of 2022, it was 0.8. So what is going to happen? What is going to happen to the number? Ding, ding, ding. It's going to go down by 0.6. Okay, the next one. February 23. And February 22. You guys with me on this? I'm sorry I'm doing this, but this is like, you need to understand this because it's mathematically impossible for inflation not to go down. Okay, February 22. Okay, so we have in February 22 it was 0.7. The average right now is 0.2. It might be less. It might be 0.1. So this is going to be negative 0.5 at a bare minimum. It might be less. It might be less. And then in March, okay, so March 23. Sorry, I know this is annoying, but like you guys need to understand this. March 23, February 20, or March 22. Okay, excuse me. Can you see this? March 22. Okay, we have the prediction. It was 1.3. It was 1.3. Remember, the average is 0.2 right now. So this one's going to come in at negative 1.1. So over January CPI, February CPI, March CPI, inflation is going to drop like a rock at a base case. At the lowest end, it's going to drop like a rock. And if these readings come in lower, if these come in at like 0.0 or negative 0.1, which they easily could because the economy is slowing right now, then inflation is going to literally drop like a rock. And if you don't think that's bullish for Bitcoin, you're out of your freaking mind. I don't understand what's wrong with you people. Why are you focused on all these things? Oh my God, FTX. Oh my God. This. You're so stupid. The number one, what was the number one reason we went from $69,000 down to $16,000? The number one reason, not like the number 12 reason, the number one reason. What was it? Inflation. And inflation was too high. And so Bitcoin came down because they stopped printing money. Now, when inflation nukes, this is what caused us to go down. So what happens when we do the opposite? We go back up, guys. It's as simple as that. Like, it's not complicated. This is not rocket science. So that's what I'm saying. There's only two events left. There's only two things that could possibly rug us, because I know for sure that the number one most important thing in this market right now is inflation, okay? I'm just going to write this out for you for some slow people in the back, okay? Smash the like button if you get this, okay? Number one most important thing is inflation. I know for sure that inflation is going to come down, okay, January through March. I know this. This is a fact. It is going to come down. So the markets will go up in January through March unless something crazy happens. I mean, honestly, there's just no other way to say it. Okay, so the only thing that's really up in the air is December, right? December is the only thing left. And what are the only events that could screw it up? Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. The Fed. There's one more meeting. The Fed has a FOMC meeting on the 13th and the 14th of December. If Jerome Powell comes out and is like, this said something insane, or they raise by 75 BPS, then we'll go down. But other than that, I'm not too worried about this. He just spoke yesterday. The markets were like, oh, well, we've heard this before, right? So I don't think there's anything to be worried about with this FOMC meeting, but that is definitely a place of risk. If he comes out and he says something crazy, then we could go down before we go up in January, March, and April, okay? The other one that it's actually more important is this one. December 13th, 2022 is the CPI data. And you're like, Kale, you just talked about the CPI data. I thought it was going to go down. Yes, it is. But remember that the reading for December 2021 was only 0.2. It was only 0.2. It wasn't 0.8, it wasn't 0.7, it wasn't 1.3. So if you go back to what I was doing a second ago, okay, so December 21 compared to December 22, okay? This is where it gets dicey, and this is what I don't know why people can't do math. I can do math. So the average right now is, back then it was 0.2, and right now the average is 0.2. So this in the middle right here, it could be, I don't know, it could be a wash, right? So this is not guaranteed to nuke in December. So that's why I'm a little bit more worried. If this reading comes in hot, let's say it comes in like 0.3 here, or 0.4, which I don't know, I don't think it will, but it could, then this overall reading will be a plus 0.2. Remember, we didn't have any pluses before, they were all minuses. So those are the only two events, guys. The only thing you need to worry about, you don't need to worry about SBF, you don't need to worry about all this stuff. All that stuff is in the past. Like I said, we just had the biggest capitulation event in crypto history already. We already had the worst thing possible happen to us. FTX is like one of the worst things that could have ever happened. So that's how bottoms are formed. Go watch my video from yesterday. And also, we only have two more things to get through. We have to get through this CPI print on the 13th, and we have to get through this Fed meeting on December 13th. After that, we're good. We're good to go. So watch those two dates. After that, if you haven't bought yet, I think you're crazy. I'm already all in. I think it's almost guaranteed that we're getting a 2x at some point. We're going to get a 2x on Ethereum at some point in 2023. Even if it takes all of 2023, who really cares? Let's look at the ETH chart. Even if it takes all of 2023, I think it's going to take 4 months to get this 2x, this $1250 up to $2,500 move. I think it's going to take 4 months. But if it took a whole year, who cares? You double your money in 4 years. You outperform every investor on the planet. Isn't that good enough? I think that's probably good enough. Smash the like button. Come back later. I have these videos in Spanish as well. Tu hablas español. Check it out. All right. Love you guys. Bye.